So what's up, y'all guys? I'm back. Just finished my tournament and I scored $1. I scored $1. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean.
Ndio umeclean maisha yako tangu uhamia hapo uje kufanya angalia. Unafanya hivi. Hivi ni kweli. Moyo zinajaa nyingi, mbona ngoja nauliza swali. Wakati zikijaa nyingi mbona hufanyi hivyo? Mimi swali langu yote Muislamu. Mimi nauliza swali. Wakati zikijaa nyingi mbona ushughuliki?
Juzi mimi nimekini baba.
Ndio umeona.
Nikasoma chaka nini? Hadi cheki. Zile chaka huyu ameteka nyingi hadi za tumbukia chini. Unaona chini michanga. Chini michanga pia nimetoa chaka. Mimi ndio nimekini najua.
Chini michanga ya machizi.
Mimi nimeamua.
Ya machizi mimi naokota. Naokota.
Tukupe chaka.
Wallahi naokota. Wallahi mimi sikudanganya mimi tukudanganye.
Mimi arekana.
Sio mimi zile. Sasa zetu pia. Wewe useme ukweli. Chini taka za nani? Za nani? Wewe unaziona za nani? Zile vitu pale pa nani?
Ndio mimi sitaki problem. Nimekwambia sitaki problem. Try to understand. Ndio mimi ninaamua kutoka kwa sababu mimi ndio nimesafisha nje.
Halina katu. Msaidie basi wewe.
Nimejani chini kwa chini ya mchanga kabisa kwa hivyo zimeitarini imefukulia mchanga zikaziko hivi. Manyele kila kitu kwa chini. Ndio mimi kumwambia wadasikiliza kufanya chochote. Tende pamoja pia mnalelo.
Ile chepeto liko wapi chepeto?
Chepeto.
Ndio kunifanya kama mimi kwenye kazi. Umejaa nyuki noma. Huyo kishaingia huyo. Halo, nyuki asije ndani, ndio ndani. Nataka toni. Hizo zote kachukua twende. Kama hizo. nimetoka. Tell me. Mbio. यारो सब दुआ करो दिल के कब दुआ करो मिलके Sana! What about putting in your air conditioning? What about the potter? Well, maybe, yeah.
I'm not against your choice of the kind of review, right?
For emotional payoff, that doesn't quite pay off.
This is the moment for a treatment for moderate to severe eczema. Sabinco, FDA approved. 100% steroid free, not an injection. Sabinco is a once-daily pill for adults who didn't respond to previous treatments. And Sabinco helps provide clearer skin and less itch. Sabinco can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, or are prone to infections. Do not take medicines that prevent blood clots, serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, lung, skin, and other cancers. Serious heart-related events and blood clots can happen. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of serious heart-related events or death with JAK inhibitors. This is the moment, but we've only just begun. Speak with your doctor about Sabinco today. An innovation from Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Don McCarty, proud veteran who's been helping Marines and their families for decades. If you were stationed or worked in the Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you may have been exposed to contaminated water that causes serious health issues. A new law proposes a multi-billion-dollar settlement separate from your veterans claim to compensate anyone that's been affected. If you want to see if you qualify, call us now. Call 800-800-9097. That's 800-800-9097.
With Dish, you get a signal with Beacon Council.
Okay, everybody, let's get to the basement.
And it's now backed by a reliability guarantee. If you ever lose signal, contact us. We'll credit back your account.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin and
Allô?
provides the same
Apri il scalderattacco, con la stimolina, con la pagna.
You might as well take Zysol. At night,
Mona? Vedi tu una pagna qua.
Woman is a tough job. We were combat
What are you
cameramen,
doing?
and we were sent out on these stories. They were very dangerous. You're in.
Apri il scalderattacco, vai.
And you're the one that's going to record it on that. Or every shot has to mean something. The camera. We combat with the goods. No ordinary life. Monday, September 14th, only on CNN.
Now you can sell your policy.
Mona le stimolini.
For an immediate cash payment. Call Coventry Direct to learn more.
We thought we had planned carefully for our retirement.
But we quickly realized we needed a way to supplement our income.
I sold their policy to help pay their medical bills. That got me thinking. You'd be selling our policy to help with our retirement.
I'm skeptical. So I did some research and called Coventry Direct. They explain life insurance is a valuable asset that can be sold.
We learned we could sell all of our policy or keep part of it with no future payments. Who knew? We sold our policy. Now we can relax and enjoy our retirement as we had planned.
If you have $100,000 or more of life insurance, you may qualify to sell your policy. Don't cancel or let your policy lapse without finding out what it's worth. Visit CoventryDirect.com to find out if your policy qualifies. Or call 1-800-651-0200. Coventry Direct, redefining insurance.
I'm getting Culver in Los Angeles. And this is CNN. The release of the redacted affidavit on the search of Mar-a-Lago is raising concern in Donald Trump's legal team that he could be indicted. But is a DOJ prosecution of a former president worth the risk of the extreme response that could result from Republicans and Trump supporters? As the New York Times notes in a brand new editorial, quote, this board is aware that in deciding how Mr. Trump should be held accountable under the law, it is necessary to consider not just whether criminal prosecution would be warranted, but whether it would be wise. No American president has ever been criminally prosecuted after leaving office. When President Gerald Ford pardoned Richard Nixon, he ensured that Nixon would not be prosecuted for crimes committed during the Watergate scandal. Ford explained this decision with the warning that such a prosecution posed grave risks of rousing ugly passions and worsening political polarization. My next guest presided over Donald Trump's second impeachment trial as President pro tem in the Senate. He first came to Washington at the age of 34 in 1975, rising to become the third in line for the presidency, as well as the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And after nearly half a century in office as one of the longest-serving members of the Senate, he's retiring and reflecting on his career in a brand new memoir titled The Road Taken. Joining now is the Democratic senator from the great state of Vermont, Patrick Leahy. Senator Leahy, I was reminded in reading your great memoir that you're a former prosecutor. So let me ask about this issue of today. Should the Justice Department give any consideration to the prospect of civil unrest as they determine whether to indict Trump?
Well, I'm sure that this would be a consideration, and I can think how prosecutors are going to have to wrestle with this question. But it is a former president. On the one hand, you say if it's a former president, you can't prosecute. Or on the other hand, you say nobody in this country is above the law. President, former president, or anybody else. It's really a difficult question. A lot will depend upon what the qualities papers were seen. Showing a disdain for classified material. When he early on in his presidency, he disclosed to the Russian foreign minister with a camera going and recording going in Rome. Very, very popular.
Hadi! Ele cabeceando, funga blanco en vela. Piggy. Good.
Put in danger their agents and yank them out of the country where they were. It was some of the most sensitive information we had. And in a bragging way, he gave it to the Russian foreign minister. Now that may be because of the feelings he has toward Russia. He also, when Putin went into Ukraine, he called him a genius. I call him the
I've always believed that a prosecutor needs to make a determination as to whether there's sufficient evidence of a crime having been committed and the belief that they can successfully prosecute someone for that crime. I don't know where to go. Wherein lies the citation for this third consideration of, for lack of a better descriptor, the impact on society?
I was a prosecutor, as you said, for 8 years. I had to make decisions who to prosecute. I prosecuted Democrats, Republicans, people in high office. And I had to do it, but I was never faced with a question like this. I would say incidentally, earlier in the podcast...
Wewe kuma mamako usikii maneno msenge. Sema kwa mfunga mlango wa mbele pia.
Ulikuwa tena ilikuwa nipeleka. Ninajua kama tumeita.
Nitakunyosha akili iwe sawa wewe. Hii ni kazi. Kwenda kila kwa hiyo wewe. Sitaki kuchezea game sasa hivi. Wala social media. Fanya kazi za nyumbani. Mamako unatumwa tumoga kitu. Wewe kwa plastic ufuka mlango na huko. Kuma mamako wewe. Kula bure. Freaking raha dunia unachezea kila kitu hapa huko kuma mamako.
It occurs to me that if the backroom bar existed today in the Senate, it would be segregated by R's and D's. Like, wherein lies the break of the camaraderie that you enjoyed for so many years that no longer exists?
Well, it was a gradual thing. I think a lot of it came after when Newt Gingrich stayed in the House in polarizing and ignoring the example of his predecessor, Bob Michael, and so it was going to be one party controlling issues, and a lot of those members in the Senate, they felt the same way. I've always felt the Senate should be the conscience of the nation. We ought to come together. I've been very successful in a lot of legislation I've proposed, but only because I've gone and sought out Republicans to work with me across the political spectrum. They're slowly coming back to having some meetings together, but it's become too polarized. We used to have a dining room where Republicans and Democrats were in there at each other's table talking over issues. The vice president of both parties would come and join, and things have worked out. It's not happening that way now, and it is too polarized. We've seen far more filibusters than ever before. It is not the way the Senate should be. One of the reasons I wrote the book, The Road Take It, was to show the arc of where the Senate had been, what it could be, and where it's ended up. And we have sometimes we do come together. Aid to Ukraine being one, but nowhere near enough, and it's hurting the country.
I think that young people who read the memoir, and I recommend it, will be shocked to hear of the collegiality that did exist when you came aboard in the 70s and the 80s until some period in the 1990s. Senator, thanks so much for being here. I wish you good things with the memoir.
Good. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate the chance to be here.
Checking in now on more social media reaction, captured what we have from the world of Twitter. What happens if he returns to the White House? The issue. The words of this Times editorial, you got to read this editorial today because it crystallizes an issue that I've been wondering about. It says, it is necessary to consider not just whether criminal prosecution would be warranted, but whether it would be wise. And I don't think that you'll find a citation, nothing in the Constitution, nothing in the case law, nothing statutory, as to wherein lies the basis for that for a prosecutor. I'm not denying what the Times says. I'm sure it's a consideration for Merrick Garland. But, here Senator Leahy says go after the PPP people and put them in prison. I totally agree. There's no consideration of the impact on society there. Like, here's the law, go apply it. It's a lot more complicated with Trump. And the Times also says that it ought to be something serious if they are going to prosecute it. I want to remind you, have you voted yet at the Smirkanish.com poll question? Is President Biden's student loan forgiveness fair? Very simple. Is it fair? Answer. I'll give you the results in a couple of minutes. Still to come, this coming Wednesday marks the 25th anniversary. Wow. 25th anniversary of that Paris car crash that led to the death of Princess Diana, Princess of Wales. So how will the royal family mark the occasion? I'm eager to speak to Diana's Chief of Staff and Private Secretary, Patrick Jeffson, is here.
Some people have minor joint pain, sometimes blood pressure, and since pain relievers may affect blood pressure, they can't just take anything for their pain. Tylenol is the number one doctor-recommended pain reliever for those with high blood pressure. If you have questions on whether Tylenol is right for you, talk to your doctor.
It's the all-new Subway Series menu. 12 irresistible new subs. The most epic sandwich roster ever created. It's Subway's biggest refresh yet.
Her, you won't phase me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So take Allegra before allergy symptoms take over you. And new Allegra Hives works from the inside to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours. My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. The itching, the burning.
The stinging. My skin was no longer mine.
Emerge Trimfire. With Trimfire, most people saw 90% clear skin at 16 weeks. The majority of people saw 90% clear skin even at 5 years. Trimfire is the first medication of its kind, also approved for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. And it's 6 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you have a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge Trimfya with Trimfya. Ask your doctor about Trimfya today.
Dad, which one's your favorite?
I'm gonna go with Josh.
Yes. I'm sorry, what? I was talking about the types of chicken.
Come on, you know I love all my chickens. He's a really sweet kid, though.
Did you just finish them?
Joe Biden and Democrats in Congress just passed the Inflation Reduction Act to lower our costs. The plan lowers the cost of healthcare and medicine and lowers our energy bills by investing in clean energy. That's more savings.
Kuna bei la coffee. My job is
So, you're at the age now where you may start feeling certain urges. But honey, you should really think about practicing safe spending.
No, si faglie che come
Men put their skin through a lot, day in, day out. That's why Dove Men Body Wash has skin strengthening nutrients and moisturizers that help rebuild your skin. Dove Men Plus Care, smooth out healthier skin with every shower.
So take off. Breathe Right strips open your nose for relief and feel right away, helping you take it in more easily wherever you are. This is a key take. I'm Adam, founder and CEO of THEKINGKHANS. If you're anything like me, you've probably got 7,000 photos on your phone. And sometimes the moments that really matter most end up getting lost. That's why the mobile app makes it easy to have your photos printed, framed, and shipped to your doorstep. If you've got a phone on your phone, install the feature. You would love a chance to frame it for you. Where were you when you heard that Princess Diana had died? Amazing, this Wednesday marks the 25th anniversary of her death at age 36 with injuries sustained in her heart in the Paris tunnel. Diana was one of the most famous people on the planet, instrumental in the humanizing of the royal family and giving them relevance in a modern era. But will there be any commemoration by Queen Elizabeth or Prince Charles this Wednesday? Joining me now is the person to discuss Patrick Jeffson, who was Princess Diana's former chief of staff and private secretary. His books include Shadows of a Princess and The Meghan Factor. Patrick, thanks so much for being here. So you were with her for 8 years. We're talking 24/7, 365 days a year. What about her might the rest of us not understand?
That's a good question. Like, I think perhaps the thing that surprises people about that is she was not the girl next door. I think she is famous for having been aristocrat. She's a fingertips. She was a great old English aristocratic dynasty. She had a royal quality that you couldn't mistake, charisma. And she was extremely professional as a princess, very dutiful, very diligent, and she had that great old royal
whole virtue of putting duty before self and love of country before everything.
Patrick, since her passing, and more recently we learned she really was duped by Martin Bashir, right, in that Panorama interview. Of what consequence was that?
No, you stupid! Via, fino da tua hombre! Non è nuca!
Finally cut off from the royal family and the support system that represented.
No, you dummy!
The Queen instructed that Charles Edward highlighted anymore, and that meant that from then on, Diana was on her own, and that meant, I think, through a series of interconnected incidents, to her being in the back of that Mercedes in Paris on the transfer.
But for the Bashir interview, could the marriage to Charles have survived? I mean, by her telling, there were 3 in that marriage.
Well, certainly the Bashir interview didn't help. But I think Princess Diana had a fire at that time, and I suppose the sense of purpose. She could have said to her husband, you know, I am your wife. I am the future queen. I am the mother of the future king. I'm not going anywhere. Deal with it. And they would have had to deal with it, and they would have done it.
Okay, what does that mean? I mean, I assume that there are Patrick Jetsons who surround the royal family who can navigate these waters, that this sort of thing has come up in the history of the monarchy previously.
Yes, it's a very pragmatic institution. And given the kind of lifestyle that the Prince and Princess live, there were opportunities for them both to perhaps pursue extramarital happiness if they could, but there was a bigger issue at stake. This was a matter of national importance. The divorce of the future king and queen was a totally unprecedented constitutional trauma, and we're living with the consequences of it today.
Meghan dethroned Joe Rogan, her #1 podcast in the country this week. Who knew? When I look at the dynamics, and of course you know them far better than I, you've written books and know all these folks. To me, London's not large enough. The UK is not large enough for both Kate and Meghan, and that's why Meghan left. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that Meghan and Harry have learned to operate on the intersection of royalty and celebrity. And they seem to be getting the celebrity bit quite successfully right. And they are, as you say, they are achieving enormous profile. But it's the royalty aspect of the deal that seems to be raising eyebrows. And rightly so. Royalty and celebrity are not the same thing. Royalty to enjoy the privileges and the titles and the prestige of royalty, that has to be earned every day. It's not loaned to the British people. And I think it's the lack of evidence that the royal prestige is still being earned that causes the problem.
And Patrick, finally, 25 years ago, the royal family struggled in terms of how to deal with the passing of Princess Diana. Is there a right way that this coming Wednesday, both the Queen and Charles, will handle this situation?
Usifanye vitu hivi. Chukua weke pale juu. Unamaliza pale ni kazi. Unakujamaliza. Shoga unachukua hivi unaweka pale. Alafu unaweka funa bali unakuwa msenge. Unatafuta nini huko? Si hivi mwanamume au hivi. Eti uweke hivi urudi. Msenge wachana nao sivyo. Wewe unachukua papa mwanamume. Ajifanye baba mwenye ungemaliza imefika. Ungemaliza kitu gani? Wallahi nimefika mmefikia
life and her royal experience and what lessons that means for future generations.
Thank you, Patrick Jackson. Always a pleasure to have you. It's poll question. Have you voted as per
Third tax. Work hard in hour one and twice as hard when you take it again the next day. So thank you, Diva. Work hard, beat the doctor. Hello, Betty.
The thing that's different
Hey, Madam Joe.
vacation, you always have the whole place to yourself. No stranger at the dinner table making things awkward, or in another room taking up space. It's just you and your people. Because why would you ever share your vacation home with someone you wouldn't share your vacation with?
Here, osteoarthritis.
Full prescription, sir. It uses inflammation, thank the God. Don't thank them too soon.
King in the Asper Cream.
Hi, I'm Don McCarty, proud veteran who's been helping Marines and their families for decades. If you were stationed or working at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you may have been exposed to contaminated water that causes serious health issues. A new law proposes a multi-billion-dollar settlement separate from your veteran's claim to compensate anyone that's been affected. If you want to see if you qualify, call us now. Call 800-800-9097. That's 800-800-9097.
With 20 made-to-order griddle combos, there's a perfect plate for everyone. Great value for all your favorites, only from IHOP. Download the app and earn free food with every order.
Ice cream is like whooping cough. It's not just for kids. Whooping cough is highly contagious for people of any age, and it can cause violent, uncontrollable cough fits. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about whooping cough vaccination, because it's not just for kids.
If you have reason, your eye symptoms are something more. Conditions may just be scratching the surface. That gritty feeling may not be so comfortable. And you need to put down your Up to 50% of people with Crohn's disease will develop a different condition called thyroid eye disease, which needs a different treatment. To learn more, find a TED eye specialist at isitted.com.
Allora, la fai a casa o la fai a così?
What's this? First what's this? Then I'm gonna Wait.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Nuts.com. When my grandfather started this business, he relied on freshness, quality, variety, and service. I'm still delivering the precious nuts. The family all around the country. Even the third, we learn from mistakes. But when it comes to retirement planning, who can afford mistakes? Smart Asset can help you avoid those unpleasant mishaps with a free guide, The 7 Crucial Mistakes of Retirement Planning. We also match you with up to 3 vetted fiduciary financial advisors who can help you achieve your retirement goals. Using Smart Asset is free with no obligation. Discover what others learned the hard way at smartasset.com.
So before home felt, I'm having a horrible relationship with my credit. I was honestly in need of a credit card, and I had been turned down in the past.
I wanted to unshake with the credit. And Delta opening the account.
No Ordinary Life, Monday, September 5th at 10, only on CNU.
I'm interested not only in the margin of the poll question at SquareComics.com, but also the number of votes as a metric of passion. Here's what we asked. Is President Biden's student loan forgiveness fair? All right, hit me with it. Looking at the margin and also the number. 27,000, big number, and yes,
Como
so
in Mole,
here,
Omega.
the yes votes are there, but I keep believing this is abortion, this is border, this is crime. I didn't anticipate it, and I've been answering phones, as I like to say, for a living for a long, long time. Here's some social media reaction that came in when we have. Yes, it is fair. Anyone who has a problem with it is pissed only because they missed out. Oh well. get over it. Well, Naya, I guess you're talking about, say, a father who's in front of Elizabeth Warren who says, hey, you know, paid all the bills, worked hard, sacrificed, my buddy bought a boat. Here's another social media reaction. Forgiveness is a deep-sea euphemism. If liberals were honest, they just call it what it is, a transfer of debt to those who didn't undertake it. Half-truth spotter, Nate Silver said, look, this is, and it's not the first time, the Trump tax cuts benefited people who supported Trump. But it sure does align with the Democratic base, those who will be beneficiaries of it, which I think is your point. Here's another social media reaction. Yes, it's fair to the millions with pressing student loans, maybe unfair to those who struggle to pay off their loans. Right. Life isn't fair. Some of us luck out, and then some don't. Bart, if it all evens out in the end, if we feel like, all right, I wasn't the beneficiary this time, but I've been a beneficiary in other circumstances, then I think we're all going to be just fine with it. Do I have time for one more? I do not, unfortunately. Okay, I'll see you next week.
You won't face me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So take Allegra before allergy symptoms take over you. And new Allegra Hives works from the inside to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours.
A monster was attacking, but the team remained calm. Because with Miro, they could problem solve together and find the answer that was right under their nose. Or his nose.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different how? You saw high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher avoids them.
Well, you must earn commissions on trade.
Never at Fisher.
Okay, then you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we structure our fees so we do better when clients do better. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
If your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms are stopping you in your tracks, choose Stelara from the start and move toward relief after the first dose with injections every 2 months.
Stelara may increase your risk of infections, some serious, and cancer. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've had an infection, flu-like symptoms, or worsening skin growth, have had cancer, or if you need a vaccine. PRES, a rare potentially fatal brain condition, may be possible. Some serious allergic reactions and lung inflammation can occur.
Feel unstoppable. Ask your doctor how lasting remission can start with Stelara. Janssen can help you explore cost support options.
Finding the perfect designer isn't easy. But at Upwork, we found her. She's in Austin, between a dog named Klaus and her favorite kid of green. And you can find her right now on Upwork.com. When the world is your workforce, finding the perfect project manager, designer, developer, or whomever you may need tends to fall right into place. Find top-rated talent who can start today on Upwork.com.
So now Dish allows you to access your Google Nest Hello doorbell from your TV.
No, he's here on me. He can't see me like this. What do I do?
Always know who's at your door right from your TV. Dish. Tuned in to you.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. Enter Powered by Protein Challenge for a chance to win big.
What's the #1 retinol brand used most by dermatologists?
It's Neutrogena. Rapid wrinkle repair smooths the look of fine lines in 1 week and takes wrinkles in 4. So you can kiss wrinkles goodbye. Neutrogena.
He meant so much to so many people.
The future. The way you see it is said to depend on where you sit. At Xchair, we think it also gets down to how you sit, which is why our technology is light years ahead. Xchair has done it again with our groundbreaking LMAX technology, providing hours of infinite comfort no matter where in the world you're sitting. By synthesizing the universe's elements, bringing hot, cold, and touch,
into one extraordinary seating experience. Our mission is to help you discover that every workday can happen with body and mind in an out-of-this-world place of comfort and productivity. X-Chair is charting a new course, helping workers everywhere find comfort as their work worlds zoom back and forth. Even though your work reality may continue to shift, we've got our eye on the future of work, so you can focus on the present. At X-Chair, we're gazing ahead, and from where we sit, the future still feels good. Get $100 off X-Chair with code FUTURE today. This is CNN. More people get their news from CNN than any other news source.
Happening now in the newsroom. Former President Trump again calling for a special master to intervene after the judge unsealed documents about the search of his Mar-a-Lago home. Plus, what we're learning about those classified government secrets inside.
A major slide on Wall Street.
Friday, free fall. Stocks plunging after Jerome Powell says the Fed will take aggressive action to tame inflation. And he's warning more economic pain is coming. Plus, dozens more asylum seekers arriving in New York City.
They want to get to work. They don't want to stay in shelter. They want to contribute to society.
The hurdles keeping migrants from earning a living, and the legal battle between states as officials call for the federal government to step in. Plus, California is pumping the brakes on the sale of new gasoline-powered cars.
This is a historic moment.
When the state wants dealerships to stop selling them and concerns over an influx of electric vehicles.
We're going back to the moon to stay, to live, to learn.
And countdown to launch as America aims a return to the moon. Newsroom starts right now.
Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, August 27th. I'm Amber Walker.
Good morning, Pamela. Great to be with you. I'm Boris Sanchez. You are live in the CNN newsroom, and we're grateful to have you. Former President Donald Trump is dismissing details from the affidavit that was used to search his Mar-a-Lago estate, and he's renewing calls for a special master to review the evidence that was collected. Trump says the redacted affidavit is, quote, a total public relations subterfuge by the FBI and the DOJ. He submitted more court papers in his request for a special master, but he provided no information to the judge on what role that person would actually play.
And we are learning new details from the unsealed affidavit. It reveals that classified material found at Trump's residence includes some of the country's most sensitive secrets. Among the revelations, that the investigation started with a criminal referral from the National Archives sent to the Department of Justice in February. That there was likely evidence of a crime at Mar-a-Lago, and that documents Trump took from the White House included information on human sources or spies that often work with the CIA.
We want to get you more details on exactly what the affidavit reveals. Let's bring in CNN reporter Marshall Cohen. He's been digging through these documents. Marshall, what have you seen in there that stands out to you? What are some of the biggest takeaways?
Good morning, Boris and Amara. There was a lot in this. You know, thankfully, the Justice Department didn't redact everything. We got to see, frankly, more than a lot of what people were expecting from these documents. And this is all about the case that the FBI made to the judge to get permission for that search warrant. Obviously, you can't just go into Mar-a-Lago, especially if it's the former president. You have to explain the legal basis for that. And as you mentioned, they believe they have probable cause of a few things. Let me read for you a key quote. This was like on page 2. They got this right up front to the judge. The FBI said, under penalty of perjury, this was a sworn affidavit, quote, there is probable cause to believe that additional documents that contain classified national defense information or that are presidential records subject to retention requirements currently remain at Mar-a-Lago. They went on to say, quote, there is also probable cause to believe that evidence of obstruction will be found at Mar-a-Lago. So sort of twofold there, the stuff about the classified information and then the potential obstruction. I will tell you that in this unsealed affidavit, almost everything about the obstruction case was redacted. I wish we could talk about it. I wish we knew more about it. We'll have to wait and see on that. But with regards to the classified documents, that's where the FBI affidavits really shed a lot of new light. You may remember that earlier this year in January, the National Archives took possession of 15 boxes from Mar-a-Lago. President Trump voluntarily handed them over. Once the archives started looking through those boxes, they were shocked with what they found because they found a ton of classified information. That's when they made the referral to the FBI. So in this affidavit, the FBI gave a breakdown of what they found. 67 confidential documents, marked confidential. 92 documents with the marking of secret. And then 25 top secret, going in order from least serious to most serious. Among those 25 top secret documents, according to the FBI, there were markings indicating that there were documents related to human sources, spies overseas that work with the FBI, signals intelligence and wiretaps and surveillance that's done of foreign intelligence, very, very sensitive material that the government usually goes to extraordinary lengths to protect. That's why they felt like they needed to go and do this search, guys.
And the question remains, why exactly were these documents at Mar-a-Lago? Why was Donald Trump holding on to them? Marshall Cohen, thanks so much for walking us through that. Let's pose that question now to CNN counterterrorism analyst Phil Mudd. He is here to sort through the details. A former FBI senior intelligence advisor, former CIA counterterrorism official. Phil, is there a reasonable legal explanation that former President Trump would be holding on to these documents?
I don't think so. I've been asking the same question you have, Boris, which is why I've got some ideas, but they're only ideas. I don't